and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts radio show, where we bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly in Palm Beach and Broward. Join Steve O and Sophia with their Eat and Critique show as they do tastings at local restaurants that you know or don't know throughout Palm Beach and Broward. If you have a restaurant that you would like Steve O and Sophia to do a tasting, call them at 954-336-3767. Tune in and join the banter with restaurant critics Steve O and Sophia and win a gift certificate to some of South Florida's finest restaurants. Now, sit back and enjoy the Eat and Critique Show.
Hey, are we freaking you out tonight? This is our version of Ask the Experts. Folks, let me tell you something. We got so many emails. Sophia and I are bringing this show back. I got emails from people who said, what happened? I used to love listening to the show. And I got to tell you, the emails we got from the Greek restaurant, people loved it. People went to the restaurant. And that's what Sophie and I are going to do. We're going to tell you the finest restaurants, but we're going to also share with you the bow wows, the dogs. Because, it's like going to a hockey game, you go for the fight. I think some people are going to tune in to see who the bad restaurants are. So, good. Hello, Sophia. If you all are watching right now, you can see the beautiful Sophia, who lost one of her friends today. So it's going to be tough doing the show. But we have got a gift certificate we're going to be giving away tonight to a Peruvian restaurant that I got to tell you, we'll probably never have another Peruvian restaurant on because Sophia is like this. She loves this restaurant.
It's one of my favorites.
I know. And we don't do that to everybody, but we do tonight. And we've got the owners of this restaurant. It's called Mestizo. I love
in
that
Northwood,
name.
West Palm Beach, right off the, down a few blocks from Cafe Centro.
Well, we did a tasting there the night before, and Sophie, we were in awe.
We're always in awe when we go there.
Yeah, we are, because we've been there several times. We have the owners. We're going to be giving away a $50 gift certificate. That'll cover your parking. No, I'm kidding you. There's no park. They don't charge for parking over there.
No parking. They're open Mondays, which most restaurants are not open in the Northwood district.
It's kind of a cool district. A lot of restaurants are opening up over there. Folks, you're going to love this. We're going to give away a $50 gift certificate tonight to the 300th caller. And then the second half of our show, we have the Chef John Mueller, who is the head chef at the White House. Now, it was for the Clintons, and boy, you loaded for that one.
I can't wait for
I
that
know
one.
you can't. The Clintons and the Bushes. So we're going to have him on the second half, and maybe we can get some insight on the Clintons. But, hey, let's welcome our guest to the show.
Hi, Millie.
Hello. Hi, Steve. Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Very good. This is Chef Millie.
Chef,
Hello.
you did such an amazing job. And, Sophia, she doesn't know us. Like, if we don't like something, we tell you. It just so happens we loved every dish that you served us. And I guess let's first of all, and where's Pedro?
Oh, he's right over here.
So Pedro is Millie's husband.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, there you go. So the restaurant's been open for 4 years. And I got
It's gonna be 4 years now,
is that right? 4 years?
Oh, November, yes.
Okay. So tell us about the restaurant, first of all. What gave you the idea to start up the restaurant?
Well, it was more like How can I explain you this? It was a hunch, right?
It was a hunch.
It was
Yeah.
a hunch. We passed by. Well, I passed by here. It was a place for rented. I mean, it was available, and I was like looking around, and I was thinking, okay, this is it. This is gonna be the place that I was looking for. You know, and this happened just right after I got a layoff for my previous job. I
Oh,
was
we didn't know
working
that.
for a Japanese, American Japanese company before for 10 years. So it's a funny story. They let me go on Friday, and on Saturday I was here in Norwood looking for a new adventure. Our new adventure, actually.
Pedro, let me do this for you because we need to make this more exciting. Pedro was sitting on the toilet reading the newspaper when this idea came up. Now, see, that's better, isn't it?
I don't like that story. I like the story that Chef Millie is very creative and loves to try new recipes and had a dream to open a restaurant. And bam, one of the best restaurants in West Palm Beach, right there.
Sophia's
Well, it's
sucking
funny
up.
because today we received news today where I don't know if you already checked Palm Beach Post, but we considered top 100 the whole Florida. We just have a news that today. That's what we're very excited. Uh,
There were top 100 places to eat in Florida and in West Palm Beach as well. So
Your
we are
top
one of the top
10 in West
restaurants.
Palm.
Yes.
yes, no, yes, it is. It is true. Top 10.
Well,
So
I'm gonna tell
we're
people, even if you've never had Peruvian food, and you're a little nervous about trying it, or maybe you had a bad experience with Peruvian food, I am telling you, this place is going to knock your socks off, both of them. So, well, let's talk about what we had last night, Chef.
Chef Millie,
Yes.
we started with the appetizers. Do you want to tell us what we had in your
Yes.
version?
Yep, I did give you the Escargot Ceviche, which was a great idea because it was, it's normally from French and they eat it in a particular way. So when we had that, we were like, we could make this a different dish or maybe with a different flavor with the Peruvian ingredients. So we added up like a ceviche kind of type, but with the yellow pepper, Peruvian yellow pepper. And it's also cured with the lime juice. And let me tell you, that came out so good that we put it on the menu because it's really good.
You know what? This would make someone who doesn't like escargot, this would make them love escargot.
They wouldn't even know it's escargot,
It's probably
actually.
Right, they're also flambéed. They're like cooked and they're marinated with garlic and also with salt and pepper. And then it's cooked in the
It's
with
delicious.
the flame, and it gets the smoke flavor to it. So when you combine everything together, it's really a good flavor to it.
The sweet potatoes were a nice touch to it too.
Yes. So you have kind of like the salty with the escargot, plus you add up the sweet potato. It's a glazed sweet potato to it. And
We're
it
showing
makes-
some dishes right now, Chef. I think can you see them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see that.
Thank Mr. Freddie
Those
for
are
that.
nice.
Okay, so, and
So
let
I'm
me
really
tell you
glad
something.
that
This,
Sophia enjoyed it.
Oh, did I
oh my
ever.
God, it was, folks. I'm going to tell you something. I mean, all the flavors in your mouth and the way it's plated. I mean, everything was perfect. And I'm going, how is she going to beat this? And you brought out the next dish, which was,
Thank
is
you.
it pronounced Tecanos?
Decanos?
Escar-
Sounds Greek,
Yeah.
huh?
It does.
I'm a type.
This, I thought of it as kind of an empanada, like a small empanada.
I thought of it as an egg roll, a Peruvian
I
egg
know,
roll.
right? Yeah, but I'm telling you, some people, they're like, I don't eat snails because that's what people, they think when you tell them escargot. And the first thing they always tell us is, no, no, thank you. I don't want to try that because I don't eat snails. But, we let them try it. And oh my gosh, I mean, it's really like,
I believe that.
That was me.
Yeah, I believe that. And then that this next appetizer is it's a Peruvian appetizer, but the tenderloin meat was so tender. I mean, the meat almost melted in your mouth. It was, and
Yeah.
your sauces.
Her special sauces.
Yeah, your sauces, out of this world. And Sophia and I kept looking at you like, this lady is blowing us away.
Very creative.
Yeah, because we had been there before, and everything we've had has been so good. And I always got the seafood, the snapper, which is out of this world.
yeah.
It's my best. That's, I think, my favorite dish on the menu
Is the snapper?
is the snapper. Chef Millie knows that, I think.
But everything
Yeah,
we've
that's really
tried
good too.
has been, I mean, we have not had one bad serving at all. I mean, it's been tremendous. And because Monday nights are not, I mean, Tuesday nights are not that busy. But your son works at the restaurant, and
Yes.
we would depend on him to tell us what we should order. And he was so good, wasn't he? And we never had to ask. I hate to have to ask for anything. He was always right there.
I always tell him, you pick for me tonight. So then we went to the main course, and it was something I'd been wanting to try. It was your stroganoff, the Peruvian stroganoff. Tell us about that, Chef.
Yes, the stroganoff, it's a European dish, which is more like Russian dish kind of type. And we love that. But instead of flambe it and cook it with vodka, we make it with pisco, which is the Peruvian drink. So we make it like a lomo saltado. And we put everything all together, and we also put jumbo white mushroom, which gives a very flavorful. And it's like a very tender too for the meat, and the onion and the tomatoes as well. Mm-hmm. And then I make a sauce all together with it. And it comes with the yuca fries, which is kind of type like a Cuban style too, but it's also with white rice and the Peruvian corn, which makes it European, Cuban, and Peruvian style. So it's like 3 cultures all together in one plate.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm hungry. But everything, is funny because I don't. But Sophia, if she has anything left over, she always takes it with her. And what did I leave? Because I was so full. Do you remember what I left?
No.
Plantains.
Oh,
And she said, "I'm taking those."
I ate them.
I know, it's so good.
And I got to tell you, your pricing is really good too. I mean, it just the whole experience is perfect. If you want to like impress somebody, and I like older type restaurants that has that little decor to it. I don't want a fancy restaurant. And you walk in and you feel like this is going to be a Peruvian experience. And
Yes.
I got to tell you, we could not leave out the
The
desserts.
desserts.
Oh my God, Chef, the desserts were we started off, they're almost like a custard,
It's like a mousse.
Yes.
like a mousse. Well, yeah, and the first one was.
It was the matcha, the matcha Japanese green tea one.
Yes.
And then we had the mango too. You brought us 2 of them
She ended up bringing us 3.
until you found out I loved coconut. And then
Yes.
So they were all vegan, correct? All three were vegan,
Yes, the
vegan.
next one that I brought you it was the coconut, passion fruit, mousse, and that's a vegan because we also have a variety of the vegan food in our menu as well. I'm a big fan of vegan food, and I wanted to add it up to my menu as well too. And I'm also making, the vegan desserts as well because, like me, I love desserts. But sometimes I want something that is not dairy or, that is not too heavy or something like that.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't
yes,
heavy at all. And the green tea,
The
it didn't
matcha.
have that green tea, aftertaste to it. It was so good. Because I normally don't like anything green tea. I loved that dessert.
Well,
I couldn't
matcha's,
stop eating it.
but matcha's really healthy for you too.
yes, it is.
So now you're open for lunch.
Yes, we're open for lunch Monday to Friday, 1 to 4. Yes, and
And
then
then 7 days a
Friday,
week you do dinner.
Saturday- What is it?
7 days a week you do dinner.
Yes, we open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, lunch, 1 to 4, and then dinner time. And Saturday and Sunday it's dinner time.
And you're Monday through Friday until 10 p.m., correct?
Yes, yes,
And
we
the
are.
only restaurant open in the Northwood District on Mondays.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then after dinner you can go to a place where they play. You were right. They play wonderful music, and it was like kind of a good. It makes a whole evening out of it. I got to tell you, we're going to give away a gift certificate. Our listeners love that. Pedro and Millie have been so nice to offer one of our listeners a $50 gift certificate. And I'm going to tell you something. Once you go, you're going to be hooked. You really are. And we don't say that about all the restaurants. So we're going to take the fourth caller to 888-565. I'm waiting for Freddie to shake his head. 565-1470. So 888-565-1470. And we don't always know, but if Dan when he gets a winner, we'll see if they want to come on the air with us. Sometimes they don't want to do that. They just want the gift certificate. Chef, you and Pedro have done such we call them a tasting where you bring out different foods, but you just did such a great presentation for us.
She does a great presentation every time you go into the restaurant.
Sophia, why are you sucking up so much tonight? What, do you want to go back there?
Maybe. It's one of my favorite restaurants in all of Palm Beach. It's that good.
I'm going to tell you something. We've been to some of the finest restaurants in South Florida, and this is the first time she has said this. I mean, we're not just doing it for you. Who are we going to do for next week? No, I'm kidding
I'm
you.
going to
come back
bring
to the
her up
pizza.
again next week.
No, she knows that she has us for a customer. Is Pedro still there?
Yes, he is.
I was taking pictures, so
Oh, okay. Pedro, you guys did such a great job. We might have to make this a weekly a restaurant for us, and we never do that, do we? Let me see. Does we have a winner, Freddie? Okay. We have a $50 gift certificate, and now the gift certificate. We have one. Okay. Now here's the
I
thing.
have Jackie on hold.
Okay. This gift certificate, no alcohol. You can, I mean,
Right. And no tip.
and you got to take care of your server.
Right.
But this will take care of a good amount of your food. And parking is $300 for a small car. No, I'm kidding you. Can we put Jackie on, Freddie? Yes. Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
How are you? You're a winner tonight.
Oh, thank you.
I was listening to the show, and I would love to try the Peruvian restaurant.
Have you had other Peruvian dishes before?
I have.
You are going to love
I'm a
this.
big fan.
You're going to love this. I mean, you really are truly, because I've actually eaten at other Peruvian restaurants, and the one that everybody said was so good, you're not going to hear me give out their name, and we had to give their gift certificate back. I thought it was horrible. It was one of the worst tastings.
Oh.
So now, what
Yeah,
part
and
of
that's definitely.
what part of South Florida are you in?
I'm in Davie, Florida, down in the south, kind of by the Weston area.
Yes. So you just all you're going to have to do is just jump on 95 to
Okay.
Palm Beach Lakes.
yes.
You're going to go east on Palm Beach Lakes. You're going to take a left on Dixie. And then you're going to get to the Northwood District. Chef Millie, I always forget the number of the street where you took left. I just always see Cafe Centro on that corner.
Yeah, it's on 511.
511.
511A Northwood.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, so it is Northwood, the street name. And then you're going to go to almost the end of the road, and it's on the right-hand side, 511, and you can't miss it.
Jackie,
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
well,
only- it's the only
first of all-
building that's in red color.
what's it?
Yes. She was describing the restaurant.
Oh,
inside.
okay. Oh, so I want you to stay on the phone. You're going to give Dan your address, phone number,
Okay.
Where you were born at,
Okay.
what you're doing in 2 weeks.
Her social security number.
But we really appreciate you calling, and we'll be mailing this out to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to try it.
Okay. She said everything I told her to say. Thank you, Jackie.
No.
Oh, we got to get out. We have another guest coming on. Go ahead.
Chef Millie, it's always a pleasure to see you and Pedro. I love you guys. Your restaurant is fabulous. I wish you nothing but the best, and congratulations for your big win today. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. And I
Amazing.
appreciate everything you guys have been doing for us.
Sophia wants to buy a franchise. Look at Pedro.
They're gonna. I wanted to mention too. They also have an outdoor little area that you can sit in outside as well. So thank you again, you guys.
Thank you. We'll
Have
see
a
you
good
soon.
Yeah,
evening.
thank you both.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
So the name of the restaurant is Mestizo.
Mistivo. It's
Mistivo.
Mistizo.
So-
Here we go
so.
again, like the green. Remember they had fusion, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mestizo fusion.
Okay, God, we had a lot of callers too. So we're going to go to break, and we come back. We have with us, I think he's on with us, Chef John Mueller, who was the chef at the White House for both Bushes and Clinton. And oh, wait till you hear what Sophia wants to ask the chef. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back with more Steve-O and Sophia Eat and Critique.
K. Bender Rembaum is a full-service community association law firm dedicated to the representation of community associations throughout Florida, with offices in Pompano Beach, Palm Beach Gardens, Tampa, as well as in Miami-Dade by appointment. Several K. Bender Rembaum attorneys are board-certified specialists in condominium and plan development law, and they assist clients with all matters of community association legal issues while keeping them up to date on new developments affecting their associations. K. Bender Rembaum is also a well-known provider of free legal education, which often includes CE credit for managers and state certifications for board members. Contact K. Bender Rembaum today by calling 800-974-0680. That's 800-974-0680 to reach any of their locations. You can also visit them online at kbrlegal.com or just write to them via email at info@kbrlegal.com.
From time to time, this program engages in contesting for prize giveaways. A listener must call into the radio station talk line and be a specific caller or answer a trivia question as specified by the show host to be awarded the prize. The contest duration is the length of the program itself. Winners may be limited to one winner per address and or phone number every 3 months. All listeners are eligible for prizes. Prizes do not exceed a value of $325. The prizes are provided by the show, and the delivery of the prizes is the sole responsibility of the program itself and not the radio station.
This program is furnished by Ask the Experts.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts radio show, where we bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly in Palm Beach and Broward. Join Steve O and Sophia with their Eat and Critique show as they do tastings at local restaurants that you know or don't know throughout Palm Beach and Broward. If you have a restaurant that you would like Steve O and Sophia to do a tasting, call them at 954-336-3767. Tune in and join the banter with restaurant critics Steve O and Sophia and win a gift certificate to some of South Florida's finest restaurants. Now, sit back and enjoy the Eat and Critique show.
And we are back. Believe it or not, I'm Steve O and she's Sophia. You cannot miss her, though. You know, we had our show on Sundays before the Miami Dolphin games, and the show was so popular, and then we got a morning show, and we just didn't have time to do the Eat and Critique show, and we decided we got to bring it back because we have so many people who still write us, and one of the guests that we interviewed was like one of the best interviews that we ever had, and I said, we got to get Chef John Mueller on, chef at the White House for both the Bushes and the Clintons. And he probably doesn't even believe this, but I said, we got to have him on one of our first shows. And we've been touting it all this week. So we want to welcome the White House chef.
No,
Thank God it's not now, but Chef John Mueller. I told you he had a good personality.
I like that.
How you doing?
Hey, Chef, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh,
You
yes,
still
the
look the
White
same.
House. Look at his.
Red wine. It's
Yes.
amazing what red wine.
That's it. So, Chef, tell everybody a little bit about what you started off in the White House, I guess, under George Bush, one, and you just kept at it all the way through the Clintons.
Exactly. I had an opportunity to start working in the last year of George H.W. Bush's administration, and then rolled over to the next 8 years with the Clintons, and then 5 years with George W. Bush. So 13 years from 1992 to 2005. I had a great opportunity to serve three of our presidents.
Wow. You know what's funny? You have a picture on your website, and you're serving President Clinton, and he's looking down the dish like, what is this? It was like a great picture. You have it on your website. But
I think it might have been the Christmas one. I was doing a Christmas buffet there, and we had all these different sliced meats and things like that there, and he was kind of like, okay, I'll take another slice.
Do you remember what it was like when you first served the President of the United States? What kind of feeling it was?
Oh, I had to keep pinching myself, saying, "Oh my goodness, you're suddenly catapulted up to the second floor of the White House. You bypass all the Secret Service. There's no Secret Service allowed on the second floor where the President and First Lady are. So between the chefs, the butlers, and the maids, we're the closest ones to them at a very private moment. He's just having dinner." So it was pretty extraordinary. And all of a sudden he walks back into the kitchen, George H.W. He goes, "Oh, so you're one of our new chefs here?" I said, "Yeah." And I didn't even know what I said. I don't know if I said something stupid or not, whatever. I kind of lost it for a moment. I was like, "Oh my God, that's that guy. That's the guy."
How did you get that position?
Well, it was what I did before I got to D.C. I landed in D.C. in '87 and was working there for a couple of years before this opportunity came around. But 1984, 85, and 86, I was living in France. And I had a friend over there. I basically bought a one-way ticket to Europe and put a backpack on, and I said, let's see what happens. I met up with a friend of mine in Paris, and one thing led to another, and I spent 2 years in Dijon, in Burgundy, France, cutting grapes, working in hotels and restaurants, going to the University of Dijon to get my parler français going a little better, and then about 6 or 8 months in Brittany on the English Channel, right on the northern coast of the English Channel. And then when I came back to the States, I had an opportunity to go down to the Virgin Islands, spent a season in St. Croix as an executive sous at a club down there. And then on my way back up north in the summer of '87, I landed in D.C., found a job off DuPont Circle. The chef was French-Belgian. He saw some of the places I worked in France and said, hey, if you work for these guys, you could work for me. And then literally 2 weeks after that, he invited me out for drinks with all these French chefs in Washington. And I was the only gringo in the whole crowd. And I met every one of them that evening. And one guy I met that evening, we became friends. And over the next couple of years, we'd have that little networking beverage and talk about things happening in D.C. And then I heard in 1990, he started working at the White House. And then his name was Pierre Chambrun. And in '92, he called me up and said, hey, I don't know if you know or not, but I've been sous chef here for the last couple of years. Now I'm up for the chef position. Now I'm looking for someone to be my sous chef. Would you be interested? I said, yeah, absolutely. You know, what do I got to do here?
How long did you think about that, Chef?
And that was the pan didn't even have time to get hot. I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, right. Yes. So you know what?
But when we talked about it, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying when we talked about the position, he said there's 5 chefs that work full time in the White House. You have 3 on the cooking and 2 in the pastry. He says I'm French born, but you have to be American citizen to work full time, which it was. He said the pastry chef is French born too, American citizen. He says I can bring another Frenchman in that's American citizen, but I think it's too many French people. So what I'm looking for is an American that knows something about French cooking. So that little séjour in France is what set me apart from the other candidates.
Well, let me tell you something. If you've studied French cuisine cooking, you can handle anything. We had and I know Sophia's dying to ask you questions, but we had a Secret Service man for Mrs. Clinton. His name is Burns. And I don't know if you ever had this experience, but Hillary got mad because he looked her in the eye, and she wasn't happy about that. And she actually threw a book at him.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you, though. You got to be careful, you know.
Yeah, no kidding, really. Yeah, he said, I didn't say anything. Well, go ahead. You've got speaking of Hillary.
Speaking of Hillary, did she ever come into the kitchen while you were there?
Well, in the main kitchen downstairs, not really. On the second floor kitchen. On the ground floor, we had our main kitchen where we do the main preparation. And then we're half an hour or so before the service, we'll go up to the second floor kitchen. And that's in their living quarters. And their private quarters are all on the second floor. And there we would interact with the president and first ladies a lot more often in that kitchen. They'd stop in and see what's going on. Hey, I'm inviting Senator so-and-so over. Can we get an extra slice of meat out of that for another portion type of thing there, you know? And go that route, you know? So that's where we had a close interaction with the families. Mm-hmm.
I hope you hid the knives.
Did you hear that?
Something about the knives there, you know?
That was a knife.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything wrong. You know, Chef, I found it interesting that knowing that you went to the stores, the market in the morning to pick everything out.
Well, not on a regular basis. I was authorized to buy food and bring it into the house if I see something interesting from like markets and things, or if I'm visiting in my hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and that's where I'm at right now, and get all this wonderful produce that's offered here, I'm allowed to bring it in. Other than that, I would, we accept no deliveries. You know, I make a shopping list. I give it to someone in my storeroom. They go out with a Secret Service agent, and nobody knows who they are. They're all in plain clothes, and you have no idea as they melt into into Washington, D.C., and wander around Georgetown at the Safeway there, and you'd be picking up things for the president and first lady. So they would buy the bulk of things. I would buy like little specialty things. Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard that he also made beer in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Not
president?
during my time.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't my time. I think I heard something about that during maybe Obama's time.
Oh,
That
okay.
okay.
that they were messing around with it. I
Okay.
heard some stories about that. Yeah, we didn't. We all the alcohol came in already prepared when we when
Okay.
I was there.
When you had a lot of dignitaries that came in,
Uh-huh.
when they had dinner together, would you find out what their favorite dishes were, or did the Clintons or the Bushes decide what they wanted served?
Well, how that would go down is the first thing that would happen is their embassies would forward to the State Department dietaries, and that would come to our kitchen, and we'd have ample notice, and we'd read through that and look for likes, dislikes, allergies, dietary considerations, and then religious considerations too, depending on
Right.
what country you're coming from. And then we'd read all through that, and then start coming up with a menu. I'd look at local, regional, seasonal. We know the likes and dislikes of the president or first lady, so we would try and make the menu around all that.
Wow, I'm still blown away. And you wrote a great book about your experiences and about your recipes. That I guess, can people still get the book?
Yep, it's available out there. You can find it. The pandemic kind of knocked the wind out of it a little
Right.
bit to go into to be available on the shelves in stores.
This
But
is Dining
Amazon,
at the White House.
Dining at the White House. It looks
There
Good,
good.
yes.
There it
Chef
is.
sent me a copy of it. Yes,
Wow.
but you
And,
got great recipes in there, Chef.
And if you contact me through my websites and stuff like that, I'd be more than happy to sign it, personalize it for you, and ship it out to you.
Give everybody your website.
The best one would be John at thegreenfieldrestaurant.com. I have an info page on there. That's the restaurant that I'm running right now. And then I have a Facebook page, Dining at the White House. You can message through there, or send an email. If you Google Chef John Moeller, then you will you'll see quite a few things. You can
Pages and pages. So I went back there.
hit images. You'll hit a couple of things there. Mhm.
Right. Chef, it has been such a treat having you on. And, I'm going to tell you this, and I actually had him on twice. We brought you on a second time during, I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, because we wanted to talk about what it was like for you as a chef for the Christmas holidays, because I'm sure you always had a lot of people coming in.
Mm-hmm. We did there. We averaged about 25,000 people would come through the White House during the Christmas season. Yeah, a lot of them were like heavy hors d'oeuvre receptions. They weren't like sit down dinners. We'd have a few of them, but the heavy hors d'oeuvre receptions were like nonstop. You kind of like kiss your life away for from between Thanksgiving and the 24th of December. But other than that, we'd have busy times, we'd have slow times. It was an interesting balance of everything there. It's just one little funny story. I give you, when the presidents eat by themselves, that's when we kind of like man the meal up a little bit, and get the baked potato and steaks out and what have you, when the first ladies are not around. And one time when George W. Bush was eating by himself, I decided to make some chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, and corn. So I give it to the butler. He just goes through the swinging door there and goes to the president. He comes back and he goes, he's laughing. I go, "What's so funny?" He goes, "He cracks me up." I said, "Well, what did he say?" He goes, "Well," he said, "he looked at the plate and said, 'There's nothing green on it. I like it.'"
See, when you have the Bushes, you got to have chicken fried steak, don't you?
Texas.
They like a little bit of comfort food from time to time there,
Exactly. So I just got a text message from a listener wanting to know. They wanted to know, who was your favorite president to work for?
I was going to ask
George
that.
Washington,
Yeah, George Washington. I told you had a good sense of humor.
they were all wonderful, but there was something special about Father Bush and George H.W. They were just very, very down to earth. They were very easygoing. They had a very close connection with us. We were called resident staff. Butlers, maids, plumbers, electricians. All these folks were part of the resident staff, and it was we had time to talk about it. The day of inauguration is the most incredible day of being there, and saying goodbye to them that day was very, very heartfelt.
I'll bet.
It was very great.
I'll bet.
Well, I was just wondering, your recipe book, are the recipes difficult? Are they pretty easy, or do you have to be a master chef like you?
So I tried to simplify it. One thing I did was I wanted to showcase the menu cards that we use and are created for each event. And once that's done, we never do it again. So I got about 450 of these. I picked out the ones that I did myself and wanted to give a little broad spectrum of different foods that we did. So I recreated some of those dishes, either the whole meal or just part of it. And after I created and tried to make the recipes as simplified as possible, we sent them out to people really all around the country to give them a try, along with like a critique sheet. And they got back to us like, hey, it wasn't 10 minutes, it was more like 20, to do this, So then we readjusted a few things, and most people said they can tackle them without trying to, just throw the towel in after a while and say, hey, I'm just ordering out tonight,
So I think we have a phone caller, Freddie. Question. Okay, let's go to the telephone. No.
It's a text question. They text you a question.
Oh, someone else texted me a question. Okay. I'm sure it's not for me. It's got to be for Chef.
It's for Chef.
Have you been back to visit the White House?
Been back to when I lived in the D.C. area when I left in 2005, but in 2010, I moved back to my hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And since I've been up here, I've done a few interviews nearby, but it's probably about 2012 or so since I've been down there. And I've been just busy with my my chefing business up here now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. One more. This is from some guy named Jay Biden. Jay Biden. He works at the White House once in a while.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. Was he looking for a pair of training wheels or something?
Exactly. I promised Chef that we would just keep him for 15 minutes. Chef, we're going to have you back on over the holidays if you don't mind, because our phones are buzzing.
July or
and if you're ever in South Florida, you're going to come on the show with us.
Well, interesting enough, just today,
he'll be there tomorrow.
I was contacted by the Ocean Reef Club that I do some stuff down there. They want to do something again. Every couple of years, I go down to do a cooking class and then also a wine dinner. And they want to do something next season. So we're trying to figure out a week that works good in February or March. So I just got a call today about that. I thought it was kind of ironic.
We'll promote it. And Chef, thank you so much. It's wonderful seeing you again. And the name of the book is Dining at the White House. Couldn't have a better name. Thanks so much, Chef.
Thank you.
And I always love South Florida and love you guys too. And you have a great day. And
I told Chef to say that. Thanks, Chef.
Bye.
Hey, have a good one.
He got him right off.
So he's got a good sense of humor.
I like that Jay Biden.
Yeah. I know. I just had to throw that in. You know what? I know that, first of all, God, the phones ring like crazy because that was the second time we gave away to Tassos a couple weeks ago. But
Tassos.
Tassos. She's trying to teach me how to pronounce it. Remember, Freddie, used to be Tassos Greek Taverna. Now it's just Tassos now. They've changed. Some of the things that we're going to be doing on the show is we're going to have a top 10 list, not lisp, list of restaurants by cuisine that are favorites of ours. And we will definitely throw in some that we don't like.
The funny thing is we had the top 10 tonight, and we didn't even know that other people had actually voted for it.
That's right.
So
I mean, and if you've got some restaurants that you would like us to try, we had a restaurant that another restaurant called them up that we were going to, and they said, "What is it like? We're a little nervous." And she said, "Don't be nervous. Do what you do best, but they're going to tell the truth. They're going to be honest, because we're not relying on advertising dollars like that." So I'm telling you, we will always be honest with you. And I think that's why people like the show so much before. And we're going to have some fun, and we're going to give away stuff. Did you enjoy?
I'm still laughing about the training wheels.
And she's been dying to ask him about the knives for at least last 2 weeks.
Well, I was trying to be nice.
So here's some of the people. How much time we have, Freddie? These are some of the people that we have coming on our show. Chaz Palminteri. Freddie's been, yeah. Oh, Freddie, you know what? Freddie's been and I've been together for 7 years. Chad's been on several times. He's got a restaurant in New York, an Italian restaurant, of course. Yeah.
We're going to fly to New York for that one.
Are you paying? Have you seen what the tickets are?
Round tip for $4. Well, we could go JetBlue, $59.
I don't even think JetBlue's cheap anymore.
We'll
take the bright line. It won't take us. Yeah, but he's going to come. I talked to him the other day. Guess who else is going to come on our show? KC from KC and the Sunshine Band. So just a cute little story. I talked to some people in the music business. I said, I love KC because he lives down here. And I said, want to bring him on the show? And he went, no, you don't. I said, why not? And he said, just trust me. You do not want to bring him on. He said, he probably won't even show up if you did invite him. And I just said, God, now I really want him on the show. And I got to tell you, he said the station is so close that I'm going to stop by for about 10 minutes. But that's it. You got 10. He ended up staying for 2.5 hours. Couldn't even get rid of the guy. So it was easy this time that we're going to get him. And the mayor of Miami will be coming on our show, talking about restaurants.
And I am trying to get.
Oh, that's right.
So if anybody out there has any connections, I want Jimmy Butler. Well, I am a season ticket holder, but I want Jimmy Butler for.
He was at Miami. I could have gotten it for you.
Oh, now he tells us.
Now you tell us. Big Time Coffee.
Well, you had the
Big Time Coffee.
I have football, but Jimmy Butler.
Oh, man.
My son got his name and everything. And they did the coffee thing. It was all over the
Because we wanted
Oh,
him
if
on.
Margaret's listening now. We are
Big Time Coffee. He has to come
Freddie,
on.
he sells coffee. $20
a cup.
a cup.
He didn't want to talk about basketball.
No.
See, I told you.
He only wanted to talk coffee.
He's my favorite basketball player of all time.
But we're going to have we had a lot of the housewives on our show. In fact, one of them, we told her to watch her language. And she owns a restaurant. That was the reason why. And it was so bad. We actually got kicked off the air.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if y'all, I'm sure, Monterano's restaurant, everybody knows Steve Monterano. He's been on our show 3 or 4 times. We even went out there to televise. Freddie had all of his gear with him to his restaurant.
And she pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Didn't pull the plug.
There was a lot. Listen, those days there was a lot of plugs.
Well,
a lot of wires.
all I want is Freddie to get that Jimmy Butler.
Oh, she's.
I gotta make a phone call.
That's the goal. Jimmy
I
Butler.
want to buy 14,000 cases.
No, because he's charging like $1,000 a case or something ridiculous.
But you're right, Freddie, because I told Sophia if we were going to talk sports, no way.
But I would
the fact that we're
never.
a restaurant show.
I would never do that to him on the radio show for this.
No.
I would never.
Tell him you need a case of his coffee for every restaurant you visit.
Can I tell you something?
Tell him that we have a private car that'll pick him up from his own private chauffeur.
Margaret's going to be the driver.
My sister will be putting a chauffeur hat on and going down there and getting him.
She will. No, she will. I really think we're going to get him on the show. And now knowing that Freddie knows somebody that gets him, I was kind of waiting. I just want to make sure he's still going to be with the team.
He's going to be with the
I
team.
don't know. This is Pat Riley's time to show. If we had a chance to get Joel Embiid,
No.
yeah, you wish,
No. No.
Freddie wishes.
Never going to happen.
But if you have any ideas, we will have celebrities on our show. We're going to do a tasting once a week, which we will come back and tell you about. We might be changing the day to Saturdays when our show is going to run, but you will know about that. And I got to tell you, I want to thank all the text messages we got. People are like, who used to are excited about the show coming back. And Sophie and I will get a little crazy. We already had our first person ask if we're married. And I'm going to tell you, we are not, but close. I mean, I'm not, this is not a proposal, but Sophia's also my girlfriend too. And I just wanted to let people know so you won't have to write, is that your wife? That won't happen. I mean, not that she won't be that
All right.
they're going to be asking. What else? What else do we need to do? Any more business we need to take care of?
Just get Freddie on that.
See, you should have never said that,
Get
Freddie.
him ready. Jim Buckets. We did write to the agent. I did send an email. So Freddie's job.
Freddie, haven't
and
you had
Freddie's
the Rock?
mission.
Did you have the Rock or his father? Yeah, he passed away, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, Dwayne, he would be fun to have on.
Oh my God, the Rock. How was it having his father on?
Interesting. There's things about The Rock that even The Rock don't know.
No, but I used to see him. Remember, his show was right after mine.
Yeah, he did the show a few times, and Lawrence Taylor came on, a few guys.
Okay. So if you'd like to write me, text me. Oh my God, Laura Loomer, name from the past. If you'd like to write me or text me, it's 954-336-3767. If you own a restaurant or you have a restaurant you would like us to go do a tasting at. If you have a restaurant that was horrible, we want you to come on the show and tell us about it. So anyway, we got to get out of here. I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Oh, that's past.
Oh.
How about Happy Mother's Day? No, that's past too.
Happy July 4th.
Yeah. That's
Safe
right.
holiday.
You look very
For
nice.
July 5th.
Anyway, you can give us a call. We'll be back again next week with more. Everybody have a great weekend. Have fun. Peace.
That was funny. Joe Biden. That was hilarious. Training wheels. I love it.
Thanks for tuning in today for
That
the
was
award-winning
funny.
Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve O and Sophia. If you have a restaurant suggestion, contact Steve O at 954-336-3767. And tune in next time to win more gift certificates from South Florida's finest restaurants.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program
Freddie,
were
are you
strictly those of its
serious?
host,
You could get
guests,
Jimmy
and callers,
Buckets?
and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.